So our next speaker is currently working as senior developer advocate in India as Elastic. So he started his journey as a software engineer and is also known as one of the best startup guys that you can ever have. With that, with a huge round of applause, can I please have on stage Ashish Tiwari?
Hello. Check. All right. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Ahmedabad, Gandhinagar. So my name is Ashish Tiwari. I am a senior developer advocate at Elastic. And today we're going to discuss a RAG, which is called Retrieval-Augmented Generation. Anyone, what is RAG, or anyone is working on RAG? Okay, who know RAG? Just ऐसे कुछ उड़ते उड़ते सुन लिया हो. Okay, no issue. Not a rocket science. At the end of the session, I promise you will get what is a RAG, and so it is mostly the main use case. You can create a chatbot. So you can create a chatbot on your private data which is like any data. Let's say you are a bank, you want to create a private data for your private chatbot for your customer. You can create by using RAG. And trust me, without training any model, okay, without having any effort, developers who are a developer in the house, give me cheers. Give me cheers. Yeah, thoda mahol bana ke rakho yaar. Okay, so okay, you have to be just a developers, nothing else to create a RAG. RAG is just a concept. We're going to see what is the important component in the RAG, like information retrieval, the document chunking, and all those stuff. Terms सुन के कुछ टेंशन लेने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. We're going to see how it works, right? All right. So I work as a senior developer advocate, having 9 years of experience into technology. Started as a senior software engineer, then promoted as a technical architect, solution architect, and had my startup before joining Elastic. So as a co-founder, you have to be in. I have been in technology, marketing, sales. Support, tech support, everything, right? So, yes, I think let's get started. Everyone who uses the ChatGPT or other LLM in, हाँ ठीक है सुन तो लो पूरा, ठीक है? Who uses ChatGPT in every manner? कुछ भी bug आया, ChatGPT पे डाल दो, all right? Okay. कुछ भी पूछना है ChatGPT पे डाल दो. But किसी ने face किया है? Sometimes it's give wrong answer or non-expected answer. Yes, that was I was expecting. Okay, all right. LLM knows most of the things, but not everything, right? For example, what क्या नहीं जानते LLMs? Anyone? Okay, just shout it. Okay, make it a two-way conversation. I don't want to one-way kind of समझ गए? तो क्या नहीं कर सकता LLM? Yes, sir. Shout it. Come on, one more. मेहुल भाई नाश्ता दिया कि नहीं? Current data. Absolutely, a big clap, guys, for a gentleman. All right. The main important part जो मैं expect कर रहा था, तो अभी मेरा talk अच्छा जाएगा कि it don't have a real-time data access, right? First, second, one more thing I am expecting. बहुत basics है, yes sir. Which is not discovered yet. Which is not available on the internet. Can I rephrase this as a private data? Right? अगर मेरा कोई database में पड़ा है, and my LLM, not your LLM, but like LLM like a ChatGPT, Gemini, and Bedrock, Cloudy, and all those stuff are not trained onto those data, right? So if you're going to ask any question around that, your private data, it's going to give you very generalized answer, right? And sometimes it may be a hallucination and all those stuff, right? So it's come with a lot of challenges, of course, but the few challenges is, if you must have read some of these news, right? Air Canada has to refund the policy, right, because of their chatbot. My favorite is this, the tweet. This is a tweet, the chatbot. So any chatbot you have to test, just go to the just go to the text box and just write it. Write a hello world program into Python. And if it's giving the answer, then just see, it's not well accurate, right? Because this answer was not expected from this brand, correct? Yeah, you can, I mean, the lawyer used the ChatGPT to file a case in the court. That was a very famous use case. But yes, the hallucination, the bad answer, if you're going to ask anything about your private data, it's going to hallucinate you. Complex tech stacks, of course, real-time access, the gentleman has mentioned, you don't have a real-time access, right? But yes, so even you have to make a chatbot these days. Suppose the traditional way is train your model, train the model onto your data, then you start asking a question, then you start doing the fine tuning and all those stuff, right? But trust me, you don't need to do anything of this, okay? The solution is Retrieval-Augmented Generation, which is called RAG, okay? Don't get confused anything, don't get afraid of this term, okay? Let me explain you in a very easy words. So whatever your private data is, right, it is available into any of the data source, maybe a database, right? Take it anything, maybe Elastic. Why it is Elastic, I'll tell you afterwards, but let's take any data source, MySQL, Postgres, MongoDB, Elasticsearch, anything, right? It's available into that. So whenever someone going to hit any query, let's say, who is Ashish Tiwari, for example, or what is Google Cloud Community Day, Gandhinagar? I know it is a pretty famous, and it is the answer will come from the ChatGPT. So let's take with the who is Ashish Tiwari. That question first goes into your data source, your database. Okay, it will go as a search query. Who is Ashish Tiwari? And around that, it will come with the top 3 or top 5 record, which is relevant to your query. That top 5 record, which is a well match, well relevant to your query. Okay? So suppose 5 record आ गए मेरे पास. अब वो मैं 5 record को क्या करूँगा? मैं वर्टेक्स AI को बोलूँगा या Gemini ChatGPT को बोलूँगा कि भाई ये मेरा क्वेश्चन है, who is आशीष तिवारी, और ये मेरे 5 डॉक्यूमेंट है जिन्हें हम कॉन्टेक्स्ट विंडो भी बोल सकते हैं. ठीक है? ये मेरे कॉन्टेक्स्ट विंडो है. अब आप इसी में से आपको आंसर ढूंढना है. जस्ट आंसर फ्रॉम द कॉन्टेक्स्ट विंडो ओनली, राइट? एंड don't use your brain. So we're going to use the LLM just for extracting the accurate answer from your context window. And simply we will going to craft the prompt like, if you don't know, just say don't know. Don't give me any generalized or hallucinated answer. And at the end, you will get the proper result. So this is the basic concept of RAG. All right, everyone is with me? Yeah, Retrieval-Augmented Generation. Okay, so why Elastic is in picture, I'll come later, but RAG is a concept, it is a standard concept, so you should know about it. All right, who know Elastic? Wow, Elasticsearch, okay. ELK, okay, ELK is a pretty famous than Elastic, to be honest. It's a pretty famous use case if you deal with a lot of logs. When I say the lot, I literally meaning a lot like not GB, not TB, petabytes or exabyte of data, right? And if you are generating a logs from nowadays we are living into microservices architecture, so your every services is generating a logs, and if you want to get all the logs into central place, this is where the Elasticsearch comes in a picture. So Elasticsearch is started with a search engine, and most of the search bar if you see on the internet, there is a high possibility that it is powered by Elasticsearch. So for example, सबने Uber पे cab book किया है, right? Yes, that query goes, so whenever you hit the location, it shows the cabs available near about your location. That queries goes into Elasticsearch and give the result, correct? सबने Tinder use किया है, right? झूठ नहीं. Honest answer, right? Okay. Tinder, right? So whenever you do apply some filter like in my area, age, right? Right swipe, left swipe, that query goes into Elasticsearch and gives the relevant result, and that's how it gives you the perfect match, correct? So if you're getting a perfect match on Tinder, then you know how it is, right? What is the technology behind it? Okay, Tinder से थोड़ा आगे बढ़ते हैं. Shaadi.com सबने use किया है. सच, okay, ठीक है. I'll stop here. But yes, Shari.com is one of the user for logging and security. Similarly, the CRAD, Misho, whatever the product you search, GeoCinema, right? The search, catalog search, everything is built on Elasticsearch. So yes, it got a lot of possibilities like the full text search, aggregation, analytics, a lot of capability. But yeah, let's move ahead. On the top of it, Elastic Stacks, we got a solution, let's say the observability. If you want to monitor anything, let's say your code, your infra, your VM, your containers, anything, just you got observability available, and it's available for free. You can install on your local machine, and you can get started with the monitoring. So SRE infra people in the house, give me cheers. नहीं कोई नहीं है सारे developers infra admin, yeah, correct. So if you wanted to check how the observability works, just go and install the Elastic Observability. It's free, community edition is available free. A lot of use cases covered in that. So yes, we are into observability, security. Security as we heard in a keynote, like we got a SIEM, we got a EDR, SDR, SOC analysis. Sir have given the very good example, the DDoS attack, right? If you want to, suddenly your website traffic has been increased, right? How are you going to identify? So this is where the anomaly detection sometimes comes in a picture, right? So everything, all the capability we having Elastic, but today we are not going to discuss this, but this is a very high overview I have given. But I am happy to discuss any of this pointer after this talk. All right. Let's get back to RAG, okay? So just a quick example who still didn't understand the RAG. If I'm giving my laptop is freezing, how do I get a new one? And I'm asking to the any LLM. So when say any LLM, it's like a ChatGPT, Gemini, anyone. It will give you the very common answer, right? To get a new laptop, determine your budget, specification, research and compare, and all those stuff. Now assume you are a part of an IT team into particular organization. You can't give the answer like this, very generalized answer, right? Your chatbot should be smart enough. So how we are going to do? You're going to dump your all data related to support and all those stuff into Elasticsearch. And once I'm going to ask the same question, we're going to get the context from Elasticsearch, and your answer will get modified like this. I know you have been working with our support team, and they authorized the return a few days ago. So your laptop is still under warranty for another 12 years and blah, 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 right? We're going to see how you can actually code this. I'm going to show you the demo. So Elastic comes in a picture when you have to pick a proper context, all right? The context window. Okay. So when after picking the proper context, the prompt which we send to the LLM is like this. Answer the question based only on the following context, and my context will be into JSON format or anything else, right? Textual format, and my question is my laptop is freezing, how do I get new one? And that is the LLM job to beautify the answer, to enhance the answer basis on that JSON or the context, correct? This is just a sample prompt I have given, but you can give, you can modify according to your use case. All right, but one catch, okay? There is a one catch, if anyone can tell me. I can fail this system still, but how? My answers still get inaccurate, but how? So if my data source is not going to give the proper context, suppose मैंने मटर पनीर के बारे में पूछा और वो पुलाव दे रहा है, so it's not an accurate context, right? And then your LLM is going to give you the inaccurate answer and hallucinate answer. So on the first stage, your information retrieval should be well accurate, correct? So there are the information retrieval system available into for the years, right? Let's quickly have deep dive how there are what type of the information retrieval there. So we're going slightly deeper, but don't worry, we are not going to discuss any data structure or algorithm. It's going to super excited, all right? So let's talk about the full text search. Anyone, what is a full text search? Full text, lexical search, yes? Okay, my best guess is I can search on any independent keywords, right? All right, thank you very much. So full text search is considered as a like query, but like query with the wildcard, right? Everything. So suppose I have given the search query like, what is Google Cloud Community Day Gandhinagar? So it's going to divide the Google Cloud Community Day in token, the complete sentence, and it's going to perform the search each and single token, right? This is how your search nowadays are working in the most of the cases, right? Whether it's a food search, whether it's any search like on an internet in website, you see the search bar, mostly it's working like this, right? So let's see how this looks like. It's a term-based search, right? And there are a lot of analyzer and tokenizer available, and we store this into inverted index. We will see what is the inverted index. And this is a native approach into Elasticsearch. So suppose I have given the jumping fox. We will going to pass to tokenizer and analyzer, and it will give me the clean token. Let's say jump and fox, right? For example, is there if I provide the HTML characters into my content, it's going to automatically strip that because no one going to search on BR tag, head tag, or title tag, right? Unless you are building a product like a GitHub or something like this. Okay. Once you got a token, it's going to insert into inverted index. Okay. Now this is where the magic happens in inverted index. And this is a decade of research, and it's give you the full control, the way you want to modify your search result, right? So let's take an example. Suppose I have a record one. We call it as a document one. And the sentence is the quick brown fox jump over the lazy dog. There's a document, second document is the dogs can jump dogs. We're going to divide this into tokens, and it's going to insert into inverted index. So this is how the inverted index looks like. On the first column, it is all the tokens. And the next column, we're going to map with the document ID. So your user is going to search for dog. So it will come into inverted index. It will see, okay, dog is here. उसके सामने की जितनी भी document IDs है, it will pick up and it will give you the result. So that's what it makes faster. When we say the Elasticsearch is faster, this is the reason why, because of the Lucene inverted index, right? All right. Now, आजकल नया market में चल रहा है semantic search. Anyone? What is a semantic search? Yes? Got it. Perfect. There are some ML model in the market which, okay, for the simple words, it's not going to search, in the last approach, it's going to search basis on your token, like dog. It's going to search on dog. It's give the respected document. But here, it's not going to search just only on keywords, but meaning of that keyword, which means if I'm going to search animal, it's still going to pick the dog, cat, and all the records. It's going to understand what is the context, what is the meaning of that keyword. We will see how. All right. So it's not keyword. Now it's the meaning of search. It's just a model and index. So model, when I say it's any machine learning model. So it's called the embedding model, right? So how it looks like. Again, same example, jumping fox, pass-through model. It will generate some vectors. Now don't get confused with the vectors. And we will going to index it. We will going to store into the same Lucene index. Decade of research, of course, the vectors are there from years, but it's get highlighted after the ChatGPT launch. Let's see how it looks like. Same example, document 0, document 1. Document 0 will first pass to ML model, and it's going to generate numbers. It's basically, to be precise, the float numbers sometime. These are nothing but the numerical representation of your plain text data, nothing else, right? And it's not human understanding, so just keep it as a black box, but just think your plain text is going to convert into the numbers or a series of the floats. We're going to index this. Same, we're going to make a mapping for this. and we're going to index the we're going to maintain the vector index for it. Okay. But ठीक है, number generate हो गया, उसके अंदर क्या है? What's in the vector, right? Whatever the model thinks, whatever the data on model has been trained, correct? It's going to generate the similar numbers, similar vectors around that context, right? A fine-tuned foundation model, suppose we got a Gamma, we got a lot of foundation model available, and you can train on your own data, and it will generate the vectors around your context only. This is also the case. Train on document and query pairs, but remember, on the first case, the lexical, it is always going to be the accurate answer, accurate search, but this is always going to be the approximation. There is nothing like an exact into machine learning. It's always going to be the approximation, what model thinks, right? And what model thinks, even ML engineers don't know, right? Because it's totally black box, right? Okay, just a quick example. So numbers to generate kar diya, but what happened behind the scene? What happened with those vectors? So suppose I have generated so on the left-hand side, I got animal and the respective cartoon, the mammal and respective cartoon we having a right-hand side. So now consider the cartoon as a vector. Number भूल जाओ, समझो हम cartoon generate कर रहे हैं. Consider as a number, but yes. So all the birds, if you see, they are into same group. Okay. So for example, I have given maroon shirt as my data, and I have given the red shirt. So maroon and red, the numbers which is going to generate for both the document is going to sit next to each other on my disk, right? They are going to group together. And suppose I have given the white shirt, which is totally contrast, which is totally opposite. It's going to sit in another group or far away than red and maroon shirt. So the way same, which happened for the owl and all those stuff. So now if you going to query, let's say that animal presented into yellow, we called it as a L key. We have query to L key to find the animal like a L key, and it's going to get the whole group as a suggestion, as a recommendation engine. So suppose I'm going to search on red shirt, it's going to give me the result. Red shirt will be primary, but maroon shirt, light maroon, pink, all as a suggestion, all as a recommendation engine. So you can use semantic search just not for the search, but to build the recommendation and search just suggestions as well. All right, all clear? Lexical search, we got it. Semantic search, we got it. Okay, not just a text, but you can embed the image and audio. So probably we can talk this offline. Now, there's a third information retrieval which we call hybrid retrieval, right? Hybrid 101. As name suggesting, lexical plus semantic, we'll merge this both the result, and we give the best result out of it. That is called the hybrid approach. Nothing fancy. This is, you can club into Elasticsearch both the query, right? And we'll come on this. There are a lot of scoring algorithms. So when I'm going to pick a top 5 chunks, okay? So Elasticsearch is considered as a search engine, right? So you can build a search engine around by using Elasticsearch. So whenever you're going to hit any query into Elasticsearch, every record comes with score, one of the score. So anyone, what is that score is? How relevant that document to your query, right? So the more score is, the more relevant, the more similar it's matching. So it will come on a higher position, correct? All right. Okay, information retrieval we are done, right? So that's why we need Elasticsearch on place for information retrieval so that your RAG system is not going to pick a wrong document, wrong context window. Okay, again back to RAG. I think this flow is already clear, pretty much clear. So let's jump on a demo. So I think we got a playground, but RAG is a concept. It is not a feature, anything. It's a standard concept. You can write in any language. You can build in any framework. There are frameworks like a LangChain and Llama Index, but you don't need them, to be honest. But they make it, they simplify to building a RAG, but you can build by your own logics and all the stuff. So, but we got a playgrounds, and we will see how quickly we can do the completely low-code RAG, and it will you will get start with the chatbot within a few minutes. Okay, so let me show you the demo. Hello. Hello. Okay. Meanwhile, if any question, I'm happy to take it. Yes. Sorry, I'm not able to hear you, but if anyone can just, from front seat, if you can just amplify. Okay, can we get a mic? Yeah.
Is there a difference between that and
RAG and function calling, I'll come on that. Yes, yes, definitely. Function calling is the interesting topic. The question is same, right? Yeah. Let me come back on a later, right?
Okay.
Yes. No, yeah, gentleman.
Yes.
Now, suppose we have 100 MB document. So for the same, if I implement RAG, so what will be the minimum machine power I will require?
So you have a 100 watt PDF.
Yeah.
Okay. So the last question is?
I want to implement RAG.
Yes.
Based on that, it will provide a question answer from that document. So what will be the minimum computation power, machine power?
Okay. So your computation, in this case, your computation is going to depend on Elasticsearch, because for the information retrieval, right? And you can, for the RAG, for the calling LLM, you can replace with any LLM. So in demo, we're going to see Gemini, but you can come with your private LLM as well, the Gemma. You install the Gemma on your hardware, you can get start first. You can call any public LLM to get a result. All possibilities are, everything is possible. Any LLM connecting any LLM. So your computation is going to measure on two things: how heavy your LLM is and how much power it needed if deploying on your hardware first. Second, the Elasticsearch, how big data it is. Suppose you are dealing with the terabytes of data, then of course you have to set up the Elastic cluster, the collection of nodes. And if you're dealing with the MBs, GBs, I think one node is enough. One node with 8 GB RAM, I think given the very standard 8 GB RAM, some of the disk size like 500 GB or according to depend on your data size, it's okay. Yeah. Can I show the demo quickly first, and then we can have blast of all the questions, right? Okay. Let's go to, for this, there is nothing fancy. I'm going to the Elastic Cloud first and making a sign up and just create a deployment. I'm not going to show you that. It's a simple few clicks and you are done, right? Whatever I'm going to show you, you can simply replicate on your local machine. You don't need Elastic Cloud as well. There are community edition, the open and free version available. You just install Elasticsearch and Gemini and you are done. So once you created a deployment, the home page looks like this. Anyone, which page is this? Heard of Kibana? Kibana, everyone? Yeah, Kibana? Okay. Kibana is a visualization tool, and it's kind of the admin panel for the Elasticsearch. So whatever the data is presented into Elasticsearch, you are going to access. You're going to see all the dashboard. You're going to manage all the indexes from the Kibana, from here. So the people who don't recognize this is a 8.15, which is the latest version. I think you are probably working on a bit older, so just upgrade it. Okay, now let's quickly, so after the creating a deployment, you will get a API key and instance ID, cloud ID. So I have created a quick ingestion script. This is a Python notebook. Let me run through it. Let me install the package. This is a Google notebook. I think it's available. I'm going to share the link. Importing the package. It's visible, right? Yeah. So I have added all my credentials into environment variable, so it's not going to visible anymore, but let me run this. And meanwhile, this is how my sample data looks like. It's ugly JSON, but easy to understand, okay? The data is around the workplace data. It's like what is my vacation policy, what is my मैं छुट्टी कैसे ले सकता हूँ, मैं क्या मैं अपने पेट को ऑफिस में लेके आ सकता हूँ वगैरह, some of the nonsense questions, but this is a sample data, consider it. And we're going to build a chatbot on this data. And if you're going to ask any data out of this, it's not going to answer you, right? Okay, so for this, let's go to notebook, and I'm going to parse this JSON and going to divide this whole JSON into smaller chunks. All right. Now, for example, if you are going to scrap a complete book, 500 page, right? You can't consider complete book as a one record. Even you can't consider one chapter as a one record. You have to divide some time as a paragraph. You have to consider paragraph as a one record or one page as a one record, right? To get a proper, whenever I'm going to then search it, it will come with the few records, with the few paragraph and pages. So similarly, same scene with the JSON. I'm going to chunk this, and I'm going to chunk this basis on the character size. Yes. Yes. So we got a crawler for this. Even you don't need to run this as well. You just give your URL name, it will crawl all your data, perform the RAG, that's it, right? I'll give you the link, I'll show the link after this. Okay, got it, this is a 500 chunks, so which means on every 500 characters is going to make a one record. So I already run this, and my all data is stored into docs variable. Now, let me store into Elasticsearch. Okay, now for storing this, I have to create the embeddings, if you remember, the numbers, plain text as well as the numbers to perform the semantic search, correct? To generate that numbers, we are going to use the E5 model. So if you go to Elastic and machine learning, okay, let me increase this. And if you're going to train model, the model is already available. You don't have to come with that. There is a multilingual E5, small is already available. So it's deployed and it's running. So I'm simply going to pass my all plain text data through it, and it's going to generate the embeddings, right? So, all right, let me run this, and let's see. Okay, got a response from the Elasticsearch. Now, let's verify how data looks like. Sorry. So, let's go to DevTools. This is like console for Elasticsearch. So Elasticsearch runs on a REST API. If you don't know, there is a no MySQL kind of console. Everything is an API. Whether you want to create, read, update, delete, everything's. So, all right. So I'm going to hit the get query, and I have stored all the data into multi-lang-rag index, and I'm going to search it. Oh, it's not created. Let me check why. Multi-lang-rag. Oh, okay. Let me do this. Index not found. Let me run this again. Okay, yeah, sorry, there is some steps I missed out. The ingestion and creating an index, and now, finally, it's going to hit it. Right, now it's stored. So let me search again here, the get multi-lang. So this is how my data looks like. Now, if you see, if you closely have a look, this is my plain text data. Right, in the summary, the policy outlines the guidelines and blah, blah, blah. The respective vectors, the floats, is like this. If you can see the numbers, right? And we're going to perform the vector search on this. We're going to basically perform the vector search. All are with me here, right? Okay. Now it's time to search something. I have added something in a Gujarati, though I don't know, but let me, anyone what is written it is, I don't know. I know, but what the query it is.
It's like
Sales strategy? Gujarati in the house, give me cheers. मजा नहीं है मतलब गुजरात में मेरे को ऐसा Gujarati in the house, give me cheers. Yeah. So the query is the sales strategy. What is my sales strategy? And I'm going to search it. So I'm going to hit the query into Gujarati, and remember my data available into English still is going to give me the relevant result. So if you see this sales strategy document outlines blah, 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 and it's giving me the top 5 result, top 5 document. So this is called the vector search, right? So even I can perform in Hindi, English, though, and again, it's depend on your model, the E5 model, right? So yes, if you want to build a search application, यहाँ तक का step काफ़ी है. You can go and just do the vector search, build the vector search for your application. All right, now we are done with the vector search. Let's go to playground. It's time to go to playground. So in search, if you see, there is a playground. Here, I need to add my data source. So data source as in, there is a different indexes we have stored the data. Let's choose the data. My index name is a multi-lang-rag, and I'm simply save and continue. In the model, let's choose the Google Gemini 1.5 Pro. So if you don't know how this list is coming, you have to first connect your Gemini here. So you go to the Vertex AI Studio and get your all the credential. I think that .json credential, give it and paste it here. That's it. The rest of Elastic will take care. So after connecting this, I already connected, so don't want to waste time into that. Just choose it, and it's time to ask some question. Hope it is going to work. Okay, how to apply for the holiday? This is my first question. It's in English. Just a minute. It's reset. Let me quickly. All right, Gemini 1.5 Pro, and how to apply for the holiday. And okay, so this document does not contain the answer. So probably this document, which it's coming from the Elasticsearch, the data, the relevant data is not available. So it's not going to give any out of the solution, like raise to your manager and blah, blah, blah. It's not like this. Simply say, it don't know. Now let's change the query, like, can I bring my dog in the office? Okay, so employee must obtain prior approval from their supervisor and the HR department before bringing their pets to the office. So if you see, I never specify the pet as a keyword, but still it relate my dog with pet keyword, and it's giving the proper answer. So what document Elasticsearch have fetched is, you can see here, the 1, 2, and 3. So if you can see, this office pet policy will be reviewed periodically and blah, blah, blah. So it's picking the data, presenting into a more understandable way or beautiful way, right? Got it. Okay, let's try something else. How salary band works? Interesting questions.
Don't think that.
This document describes how the salary band system is structured, outline 4 level, entry level, intermediate level, senior level, and all those stuff. Correct? Now first करो आप लोग ये अपने organization के लिए बना रहे हो, ठीक है? तो पहला तो thumb rule ये है कि आप पूरा data, salary structure, with position, with your managers, CEO, everything, dump into Elasticsearch, right? Which is again exciting time, right, for any developer. Okay, once it's come into Elasticsearch, now if you don't have a proper role-based access control, okay? Suppose I'm an engineer, I'm an entry-level engineer. So I'm just, I should get the response only related to entry level. not the intermediate level salary, right? So if you're building these things, build with the precautions, and how you can overcome this on the Elasticsearch. Elasticsearch give the RBAC. So you can create a users, you can create a controls over your data, which user can access which data. On the top of it, you can build this complete functionality, and it will answer like this. So it's mostly if you are dealing with the banking and all those stuff, the financial services is an important feature. Of course, the salary is the important feature only for any organization. So, but yeah. Okay, now sales strategy. Now it's time to tweak the prompt a little bit. Okay, so let's try to perform multilingual chat. So I'm going to detect the language of the user question and give the response in same language only. Okay, and for that I have. Let me open the translation. I'm not that good. As a technical person, how I can help to the sales team, right? I'm going to copy this and let's hit. एक तकनीकी व्यक्ति के रूप में मैं बिक्री टीम की कैसे मदद कर सकता हूँ? एक तकनीकी व्यक्ति बिक्री टीम को तकनीकी जानकारी, उत्पाद अपडेट और ग्राहक परियोजनाओं पर मार्गदर्शन प्रदान करके उनकी सहायता कर सकता है. It can be a more detailed if your data is that rich, right? And also it is depend on your end model. Like we are using Gemini, probably you can use other model as well, probably the private model, and you can build like this. So response is totally depend on that. But the guarantee is your response will come from your private data, nothing from out of box. Okay. Okay, last one. What are the sales goals? Sales goals, since we are in Gujarat, let's try some query. And okay, I guess it's translated properly. And let's hit this. All right, it's giving something, but I don't understand Gujarati, but let me translate this. Our primary goal is to increase the revenue, expand market share, and strengthen customer relationship in our target market. So this is what the result is, right? So you can actually now create a multilingual chat for your private data. Correct? All good so far, right? So there are a few slides, 2-3 slides, and then I will be available for a question. Hello, okay. Okay, Retrieval-Augmented Generation for the developers, okay? Why Elastic in this picture, right? My first question was. Speed, scale, and relevance. So relevance which is important. So if you are not getting a proper context, then it's going to be challenging for you. So if you're going to, in food app, if you're going to search matar paneer and it's giving you something pulao or something dal makhni, it's not relevant, right? First. Second, if any app you hitting the search and it's not giving the answer within a few seconds, when I say the few seconds, it's less than 4 or 5 seconds, you start going to lose the trust from that particular website. Bhai. And as a developer, you do a right click, go to the dev console, start hitting kuch red dikh raha hai kya in console, right? So yes, speed, scale, and relevance, all three is the major parameter where the Elasticsearch comes in a picture. And as your data grow, it's highly scalable. As your data grow, just keep adding the node, and it's horizontal scalable, correct? We got an ELSER and EFI. I didn't talk about ELSER, but happy to have a discussion about this session. We released this yesterday. So this was, I shown you the low-code RAG, but semantic underscore text, something you can go and read. It is kind of no-code RAG. So we use some code to ingest our data document and to perform a chunking, to divide data into smaller pieces. But with this help of this, in the native support, Elasticsearch is going to take care of everything, chunking and all those stuff. So you just pass your data as you're passing to Elasticsearch, and the rest of it will take care of everything, right? Uh, we got a support for the Llama index, LangChain, all the libraries are available. It's super easy to building this. But why Elastic? Elastic. So only vector search is not enough, right? Important point. Only keyword-based search is not enough, right? For example, on Netflix, okay? If I'm searching for Lost in Space, here my intent is very clear. I need this movie only. Now, second query I'm giving is space movies. Here, my intent is suggest some movies around the space, correct? In the first query, it needs the lexical search. In the second query, it needs the semantic search. Now, how as a developer, you going to predict what queries, what intent of queries, right? So for that, you have to use the hybrid always. And into hybrid, you can always re-rank your result. Probably आपको semantic result को ज़्यादा priority देना है या lexical result को ज़्यादा priority देना है. You can always play with that, right? Okay, and there are tons of features available. I think I'm happy to discuss offline. If you want to get started with this is a good resource. Just go. We got Elasticsearch Labs. We got notebooks available freely. Whether you want to build a RAG by using Gemini, Gemma 2 model Google has recently launched, right? And उसकी एक खास बात है private models की, right? So you don't have to expense, but of course your hardware should be good enough. But for the small use case, you can use it. And whether you want to do the vector search and all those stuff, function calling, right? So yes, all is possible. That's it from my side, folks. Thank you very much, and I'm open for a question. Happy to connect on my social, and my DMs are open. Feel free to bombard with messages if you got anything, any doubt around the search, around the machine learning, Elastic, Gemini, right? I'm happy to discuss and help you out. So yes, I think there was a few hands, and I can take a question. Yes, sir. Can we pass the mic? Yeah.
So there's a question here.
हेलो
Yes, sir.
हम नॉर्मली चैट जीपीटी यूज़ करते हैं
जी.
तो चैट जीपीटी का रिलेशन रैग के साथ
सो मैं जेमिनाई के जगह पे चैट जीपीटी भी यूज़ कर सकता हूँ, ठीक है? इन दैट ड्रॉप डाउन मैंने जेमिनाई सिलेक्ट किया, वही ड्रॉप डाउन में आप जेमिनाई भी चैट जीपीटी भी सिलेक्ट कर सकते हो. सो मॉडल चूज़ करना वो आपकी जिम्मेदारी है, ठीक है? वो आपके उस पर निर्भर करता है कि कॉस्ट क्या होगा, वो इन्फ्रेंस टाइम क्या है. देयर इज़ अ लॉट ऑफ पैरामीटर्स टू डिटरमाइन इट. सो वी विल लीव अप टू यू. यू कैन यूज़ द प्राइवेट LLM एज वेल, ठीक है? तो चैट जीपीटी का बिल्कुल संभव है. यस, आई थिंक मल्टीलिंगुअल टॉक इज ऑल्सो कमिंग. यस, यस सर.
Sir, mic.
Hey Ashish, I've used Elastic as well as ELSER for RAG model that RAG application that we are developing. So with that in context, I wanted to understand from your experience, where do you think the threshold lies?
Sorry, where?
Where do you think the threshold lies where applications should transition over from a RAG model to a privately trained AI model?
Okay. So again, the ELSER is trained on very generic data set. So okay, so जो भी वो token generate करेगा, that is going to generate by the data which is trained on. But if you are really looking, it should generate the token around your context. Then that is where you have to train your model, and then you can do generate the vectors from it and do the vector search. Not ELSER, but the dense vectors. So for example, if if I'm a developer, for developer, the transaction meaning is MySQL transaction or DB transaction. But for the banker, the transaction is a financial transaction. So there is a high possibilities. I mean, for example, if my ELSER or any model, general model, trained on that data set where the programming perspectives didn't covered, it's always going to refer you the banking transaction, not the developer transaction. So if your use case is around that, you have to again fine tune either create your own model and then you start generating the vectors from it, and it will give you a better result.
So what I really meant was in terms of the amount of data, private data which is being used, or in terms of performance. Are there any thresholds where we should transition over to a private model? So like this is the scale of data, this is the required TPS. If that crosses a certain threshold, then
So
how do
you are looking throughput to evaluate your hardware, or for which case? I mean throughput, the hardware you need, how much hardware you need, or you are asking about the accuracy level?
Yeah, I mean more towards actually getting the required throughput. So yeah, the constraint could be either of those two.
Probably, as a throughput, I'm still not getting a clear picture, but well,
Maybe you can take it.
yeah, we can happy to discuss in detail. Yes. Few questions can I take? You got a time? Yeah. Last one question, guys. Yes, last से ही आया. मतलब आप last में ही हो ना, the last question.
Hello, sir.
Yes, sir.
I had a question. How do you train private models? Like if you want to hyperparameter tune, if you are using a private database in a private model, so what is the process in that?
See, I'm not an ML engineer, but let me tell you. So I think Torch is definitely Torch and Tensor. But I would recommend to train from scratch, go for a fine tune.
So we don't get better results if we are using private databases in Torch. So that's a constraint.
No, so you trained it from the scratch? Yeah.
Not from the scratch.
You
Yeah.
You fine tune it, right? Okay. Then probably I need to check. I'm not a proper person for it, but maybe I recommend to use Gemma or something base model, train with your data, the Torch or Keras or something like this frameworks, and just see. And it is a try and tested game, to be honest. You need a certain expertise, the weightage and parameters and all those stuff. So just check it out. Probably the ML engineer can guide you better. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Yes.
Probably can we take it offline, please?
Yeah. Sorry.
So if anybody has any questions, right? Ashish is here.
Yes.
You can meet him during break. You can connect. You can network whatever you want. Because we are on a tight schedule today. So I'm sorry if we are not able to take any more questions.
All right, guys. Thank you.
Thank you,
Cheers.
Ashish.